Hello guys, today I will be ranking every single Diary of a Wimpy Kid book. But except these Manly books, except for the first one and all these movie ones. Or the do-it-yourself book, because they don't start with Diary of a Wimpy Kid, okay? Everything that starts with Diary of a Wimpy Kid, I'll rank it, okay? Does that sound fair? So, let's start with the original. Now, this is only the first book, so I think it goes without saying it's an immediate S tier. It's an immediate S tier. Because it's the first book, we wouldn't have any of these other books and any of the books that are actually, good. So, yeah, automatic S tier. No debate. You can't say anything to change my mind. Roger Goals, another S tier. I feel like all of the books between the original and Cabin Fever was the golden age of Diary of a Wimpy Kid. But then Third Reel came and kind of just ruined it, I'll be honest. Third Reel wasn't that great of a book, but nonetheless, back to Roger Goals. But yeah, Roger Goals is an amazing book. I just like Roderick. Okay, he's a cool guy. He's a good character, and yeah. But this book is definitely better than the movies. Both of the movies. This one's better. The Last Straw. But here, I'll be honest, it was really good, but it was a really good book, but I felt like it was a quarter of goals, and then it kind of went downhill from there. But whatever. The other books, the Dog Days, Ugly Truth, and Cabin Fever are amazing though. Dog Days, I think it's no, that's Ugly Truth. Yeah, Dog Days. I think it's the same as Lost Straw. Also, the movie, the live-action movie, I'm pretty sure, like most of the scenes in the Dog Days live-action movie is actually from The Last Straw. So I feel like they should kind of I should kind of put them together, and they're both kind of the same. They're both basically the same. They're both mid books. I'll be honest. They're not the best, but they're not the worst. The Ugly Truth. I think I'm gonna put it in A tier. And this is the perfect place for Ugly Truth because it's between The Lost Straw and Dog Days. It's above The Lost Straw and Dog Days and below the original and Road Goals. I think this is a perfect placement. And I actually really like the idea of the lock-in at the end of the book. But it feels like that was a bit rushed, and they could have done so much more with that instead of just shoving it at the last couple pages. And Cabin Fever, I think, was the last book of Diary of a Wimpy Kid from the Golden Age. Which doesn't mean it's a bad book. It was an amazing book. I actually really liked the whole Christmas plot, and I actually really enjoyed the movie. The cartoon movie. But also, this is just a really good book. I remember reading it, having the best time. The plot was amazing, and I really loved the time when Manny kind of, tried to kill his family just because nobody told him to tie his shoe because, that's something all 3-year-olds do. Am I right? Guys, am I right? Yeah? Okay, whatever. The Third Wheel. This isn't, it wasn't a good book. D tier, I'm gonna be honest. It went from Cabin Fever, A tier, so amazing, and then it went up very, very extremely downhill from there. Third Wheel is not really that good of a book. Something I really did enjoy though was that Rowley kind of stole Greg's date. But the thing is, you kind of feel a bit sad for Greg. But the more you read the book, the more you kind of feel that he deserves it, because Greg is so mean to Rowley. He has no chill. I'll be honest, Greg has no chill. Greg does not know how to take a joke. Like, bro was like, oh yeah, by the way, you know how you got in trouble for like making fun of those kids? Well, I terrorized those kids actually. So yeah, isn't that cool? Like, bro, he cannot read the room, and just Greg makes Riley's life so much more harder than it has to be. And the ugly truth was meant to be Riley's revenge, which I think would have been a great book, honestly. But it just goes to show that even Jeff Kinney knows how bad of a person Greg is. Okay, Hard Luck, I never read it. I'm just gonna put it in FG. The Long Haul, it's miles better than the movie. The movie sucks, by the way. I'm gonna be honest. But The Long Haul, it was a really good book. I'm gonna put it in C tier though, because there were a bunch of clones of The Long Haul that came in later. What were they? The Getaway and The Deep End. They were both clones of The Long Haul, and it kind of made the book itself a bit worse. But yeah, I think if there weren't that many clones of it, it would have been like in B tier or maybe even A tier. But I think I have to go in C tier now. Old School, A tier book. No, this book is so underrated, okay? People used to always tell me, oh, it's so underrated, and I was like, nah, it can't be. But now I understand. I understand. If you think that the Old School is underrated, thank you. Thank you so much. You are one of the very, very like few people who actually believe this. Cause I'm surprised by how many people don't think that this is underrated, which I think is so stupid. Cause this is such a good book. And I double down. I'm gonna be honest. Because I wanted to finish the whole the whole series except for Hard Luck. Double Down, I didn't kind of get the feel for it, you know. I just didn't really like it. I didn't have a nice time like reading it, and I think it goes next to Third Wheel because I read it. I didn't really have a good time, you know, reading it. I kind of felt like I just want to finish this series already. Okay, like I didn't like feel like I enjoyed it. I didn't get that like same hit for books like I did for the original or Roderick, like I did for the original or like Roderick Goals. So yeah, it wasn't that good. So yeah, on to The Getaway. The Getaway. Some people are gonna get really mad when I say this. That's true. It is an S tier book. It is an S tier book. And I'll tell you this. The story is a bit mid, but the vibe you get reading it is so amazing, okay? I know it does kind of feel like an old long haul ripoff, but it pays for it all. It comes back, it delivers, it serves, okay? The Getaway is so much better than the long haul. I know I kind of copied it, but I copied it and made it better. The Getaway is the definition of improving. They just wrote the long haul again, but improved it and made it so much better that it kind of like makes up for the fact that I kind of copied it. Anyway, we have The Meltdown. Well, The Meltdown was a pretty good book. I can't put it higher than Cabin Fever though because it is a bit similar to Cabin Fever. It's kind of like a Cabin Fever clone, I'll be honest. But the difference between The Meltdown and Cabin Fever is that Cabin Fever actually does the story well, but Meltdown, it's just like Diary of Wimpy Kid books are supposed to be relatable, but The Meltdown is so like weird. It's like a full-fledged story because I could not imagine my entire town or village or whatever coming together and like starting to do a snowball fight. Okay, like I don't. It's not relatable. If it was like a standalone book for like I don't know, like a crazy village like book or something, it would be definitely higher. But this is but because this is a Wimpy Kid book, it shouldn't be like that. So I think it's gonna go and see my next amount down. It's better than Third Wheel and Double Down, but not as good as Astro Dog Days. Okay, Wrecking Ball. I am going to get executed. guys, Wrecking Ball is actually pretty good. I'm gonna be honest. It is an all-time hood classic. Okay, Wrecking Ball is a bit unrelatable, but I just think the story is so amazing. Like, you kind of forget that it's a Diary of a Wimpy Kid book, but it's still an amazing book nonetheless. Anyway, D-pad F tier. You know how The Getaway got the long haul and improved it by 10 times? The D-pad just got the long haul and made it worse by 10 times. Okay, the D-pad literally sucks. Okay, I have no idea who made it. Big Shot is a pretty good book. I think I'm gonna put in B tier. There's nothing really to say about Big Shot. It felt like kind of a filler book, so I liked the story, but it didn't really add much to the storyline, and I don't really have that much to say about it, I'll be honest. And then Diaper Overload is an A. It's kind of like a Roderick Rules, probably because it has a lot about Roderick, but I think Roderick Rules is just better because first, it's more original, and second, I think Roderick Rules executes Roderick's character better than just a bad kid who just plays music or whatever. Okay, we have No Brainer. No Brainer, I C tier. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really like No Brainer that much, and it's because in No Brainer, stuff just goes too well for Greg. Okay, Greg gets a girlfriend. Greg gets like so many new friends, and like Greg goes to the school where he's like the smartest kid ever, and Greg invents Greg gives them the fudge dogs to make him like so famous. Like too many good stuff happens for Greg, and it just like it doesn't make the books that good, because in like all the other books, Greg, like nothing good happens for him, you know. In Old School, Greg gets stripped away from all of his devices. In Cabin Fever, Greg gets stuck in his house. In Wrecking Ball, the whole top literally goes through the guy's roof. Okay, but in No Brainer, he goes to a school where he's the smartest kid. He has a girlfriend, and everything goes well for him. This is not Wimpy Kid, okay? Now, Hot Mess, I've recently just ended the book because it actually came out very, very soon ago. But it was a pretty good book. It was a bit mid. I felt like it was a bit of a filler book. Also, the cover got leaked a long, long time ago. Like the start of 2024, the cover came out, and it leaked way too early. And yeah, so I think it would go in B tier right next to Big Shot, Dog Days, and Last Straw. And yeah, just like Big Shot, I don't really have that much to say about it. I feel like B tier should just be, I don't have anything to say about it. Yeah, I'm gonna change that. I don't have anything to say. I do not care that it spelled anything wrong. But yeah, at the end of the day, I ranked all the books except for these books, but these don't count. Maybe, okay, I'll count this one, but yeah, it wasn't that good. E tier, I guess. Don't have very much to say about it. But at the end of the day, some of these books are amazing and brilliant, and some of these other books are absolutely pieces of shit.